An industry we closely track, and that is the aviation space. Go First is likely to have now extended its deadline for its new bidders to January 31st. This in order to accommodate potential bidders who have shown interest but have not officially made their bid. The expression of interest has come in from a variety of players, including SpiceJet, but an official bidding has to be made. And these bidders now have time till 31st of January to do so.
So, Shweta, unfortunately, there's always a slip between the cup and the lip when it comes to acquiring large grounded airlines, right? We've seen that in the case of Jet.
Absolutely.
We've seen that in the case of Kingfisher. We are seeing that unfold also in the case of Go First. And let's hope that for the sake of the Indian aviation sector, 31st Jan happens to be a date when we see some action which is contrary to the more logical liquidation of Go First. Now, who are the players right now in the fray? Of course, you mentioned SpiceJet. So, SpiceJet, which in itself is struggling with a fundraise, while it has promised that it will start operations into Lakshadweep and into Ayodhya, riding on this whole wave right now of a nationalistic travel destination. In fact, two nationalistic travel destinations, but it doesn't have the money yet to do it. So it is looking to raise about 2,500 odd crore rupees. Now, in addition to that, if it really seriously wants to contemplate making a bid on Go First, it needs investors of its own. So if it has investors and if it has that fund infusion in place, I think it can officially make a bid. If it doesn't have investors and if that fundraise continues to be elusive, then I think it's going to be difficult for SpiceJet to formally make a bid to acquire Go First.
But there are three other bidders.
Absolutely, there are three others. So this is, as far as SpiceJet, a very, very logical extension into the airline's India operations by way of Go First. But the only thing elusive right now is money. So if it doesn't have money, how does it go and make an official bid? So
Absolutely.
This is SpiceJet. In addition to that, you've got Safrik, you've got Sky1, and you've got now a US-based company called NS Aviation. These three players have the money. Some of them have the expertise, some of them don't have the expertise to operate airlines in India. But what is it that money can't buy? It can definitely buy you a CEO, and it can buy you some experts who can run the airline for you. So if it does want to look at the Indian skies seriously, then Safrik, Sky1, NS Aviation, these are the three other players. But 31st Jan is the deadline to submit bids. Now, I'm not sure if an official expression of interest by all four of these players has been made or not, NS Aviation being the latest one reported by Reuters, which has entered the fray. So I think it could be an EOI just to look into the books of Go First, try and understand, is the aviation space lucrative at all? What is the kind of asset value lying with Go First? Because earlier reports in the month of November, if I'm not mistaken, indicated that if Go First were to go the liquidation way, and remember the committee of creditors, which has some large banks in India, refused to infuse the additional 600 odd crore rupees. And Go First owes its lenders as much as 6,500 crore rupees. What it owes to its lessors is actually much higher at almost 20,000 crore rupees. But if Go First were to go the complete liquidation route, then all that IBC may be able to extract from the sale of or from the liquidation of Go First would be no more than about 2,000 crore rupees. So liquidation for lenders is a bad idea because it needs to recover 6,500 crore rupees. With liquidation, it will only be able to recover about 2,000 crore rupees. So it continues to take a beating on its chin when it comes to its own bad loans. So, and that is not something that they would want to, entertain at this moment. So I think this new extension of 31st Jan is something that lenders would really hope comes out in some sort of a formal bid,
and a possible breakthrough,
and a bid which is upwards of maybe 6,500 crore rupees to keep the lenders happy. And then, of course, there will need to be a lot more fund infusion to pay the lessors for whatever has been due to them ever since the airline got grounded on the 2nd of May last year.
All right, which approximately been about 7 to 8 months since the airline was grounded.
Yeah, about 9 months.
About 9 months or so now. 31st of January, that is the timeline we're looking at as far as a Go First's revival is concerned. If it doesn't happen by then, perhaps liquidation seems like an eventuality.